Yay, I've got an onslaught, I've got an onslaught. That's not an onslaught. What do you mean that's not an onslaught? This is an onslaught. Okay, welcome back to the channel, folks. This is your host, Dennis Moulton, aka GotBot, and yeah, we are ready to look at Onslaught and Onslaught. And right now, you'll notice I'm holding both of these because they're both kind of wibbly wobbly fiddly, and there's something about this guy that I want to get into in a minute, so let's just lay him aside. This is the continuation of the Combiner War series. The Bruticus series. I am your host, Dennis Moulton, aka GotBot. Please, as always, check out Machinery of Man and the Everything Factor. Check me out on social media, and hey, why don't you give a like, a comment, and subscribe. You know, I always like to hear from you guys, know what you'd like me to do next, and I always like to hear your thoughts. This is Combiner Wars Onslaught. I am going to tell you now, I ordered this guy from TF Source because, believe it or not, he hasn't come out at retail here yet. And I don't know if he will, to be perfectly honest with you. He hasn't come out with Scattershot, he hasn't come out with Skylinks. Do you know that the stores here still have Wave 3 and 4 of Voyagers? Anyway, that's a complaint for another day. Out of package, a couple of things to note. The knees suffer the same issue as Hotspot, and if you are unaware of how to deal with this, I'm going to deal with it now. We have two joints back here, a joint down here and a joint up here. What you need to do is really position this so that those joints are horizontal, one behind the other, like this. And then you can push it in and it locks the knee. There you go, you heard it lock right there. And now the knee is perfect. I'll do it on the other side. We have the two joints again. I don't know if there's a way for me to show this easier. I find that you do best to hold in here, angle them like that, almost like that, and push it in there. And now this knee is also perfectly fine. Also out of package with mine, the arm over here was very loosey-goosey, fell right down by his side. You'll notice now it is quite tight. I used the floor polish trick. I done a video a little while ago discussing Optimus Prime's faceplate, and I made a note there about the floor polish to look for. If you're not sure how to use it, all you basically do is get a bit of that floor polish, just a bit. I find a Q-tip is great for application, and boom, you put it on the joint. For this guy, I simply put it up in here, and I push the arm all the way out, and I put it all in around right here, and slobbered it in there with a Q-tip, and it's made all the difference in the world to my enjoyment of this guy. And you probably also noticed that Bruticus don't look, or that Onslaught don't look like my Onslaught. Is it the Unite Warriors version? No, but it is closer in paint apps to the Unite Warriors version. I customized this guy. I put black on his hands, and I put silver on the sides out here and out here, leaving the purple because I like the purple. I use a painter's paint pen for silver because it's a really hard one to cure and dry. I use painter's paint pen for the black as well. And I had like a dark teal color that I mixed with a little bit of black to get the blue to match here to cover the purple. I thought about painting the green down the center and across the front like the Unite Warriors version. I didn't bother to do that. And the head, I colored the eyes yellow, I colored the faceplate silver, and again I used that mixed color match paint for the head, and wow, what a match. I was very happy with how that turned out. And we have a Onslaught that looks a little more animation accurate. If the look that you're going for is for the figures, then guess what? The Hasbro Combiner Wars Combaticons, that'll fill your need. That will fill your need. They are very toy accurate. Very, very toy accurate. If you are looking for animation accuracy, obviously Unite Warriors is the way to go. But if you can't get your hands on the Unite Warriors version, or it's too expensive, or whatever, or you picked up the Hasbro version and you were like, hey, you know, the Combiner Wars version is pretty good. I wish that there were some other paint apps. Why not customize it yourself? Why not give it a go? If I can do it, you can do it. And, you know, this guy is a great figure. He's a great figure. I'm going to give his paint apps, now that I have touched him up. His paint apps before for toy accuracy were 10. The Unite Warriors paint apps for animation accuracy, hey, they're 10. My custom one, again, it's about a 9. I think it's about a 9. It's a little more animation accurate, but not perfect. That brings us to another thing that I should note. On Hotspot, because Onslaught is a remold of the Hotspot figure that was released. A lot of people have had problems with this leg over here being really loose when you put him in combine mode. You can remove the 3 screws here and slightly twist part of the leg out, sand down a peg that's there, and then screw it back together. I'll talk a little bit more about that later on, not in this video, in another video. But it works. It's a fix that works. If you're nervous about taking it apart, don't be. If you're nervous about the combiner, you know, port here falling out, don't be. It might move slightly, but you can pop it back in there, no problem. It's not going to fall all the way out. This pin here on Hotspot, you can't really remove it, so I wouldn't really try. You get enough leeway that if you take a little bit of sandpaper or a file, you'll get, you know, what you need done. Anyway, this is about Onslaught, and this Onslaught for paint apps is fantastic, and he's a Voyager size. It's the size that he should be for a combiner. Definitely the size he should be, because a combiner is made up of so many figures that need to do multiple jobs. And this guy is no different. You know, as a figure, he needs to support the weight of everyone else. And a few years ago we had the fall of Cybertron Onslaught come out. And this is him with a missing arm. Here is the arm. It's broken. It is absolutely broken. There is a, see if I can show this here. Okay, there's a little thin piece of plastic right here, and on this arm it is in right here where this black piece is. That's what broke, and that's what was holding a lot of weight and doing a lot of work. It was an inherent problem. I did not break this. I gave my Fall of Cybertron Bruticus to Starscream girlfriend Scraplet. So if you give your kids this Bruticus, be prepared for them to possibly break it. The paint apps for this guy, they were okay. They were okay, again, stylized. I do like that they gave him the yellow eyes. It's still a black head. He was deluxe, never should have been in a deluxe. But paint apps for this guy, they were probably around a 7, maybe a 7.5. They were pretty good. You could, you know, you could tell that it was Onslaught. You know, if I put that there, you can tell, like, he's a bit hench for and bulky for a, you know, a deluxe class. But, I mean, come on. Really? Is there a comparison? Is there a comparison? I don't think so. This is like Onslaught's little brother, who's really weak and probably, you know, gets a lot of bruises and falls down a lot because he's clumsy. Poseability, playability. You know, this guy is fantastic. The legs go all the way out. If you mind to push them, I mean, they go way out. On heavy ratchets too. There's a thigh swivel. There's a knee bend. There's even toe tilting articulation. And some people have even got him to balance on one foot. You know, good on you. I don't find he balances particularly well. I find him extremely back heavy, to be honest with you. So I don't know how those people manage to do it, but good for them. The arms go out. Like I said, this one was really loose. Some floor polish fixed it right up, but they go all the way out. You know, nice ratcheted shoulder. The head goes left and right. Doesn't really look up. It can look down a bit, so that's okay. No waist articulation for this guy, but I can forgive it because he has so much that he has to actually be able to do. Yeah, so I can forgive it. Honestly, for me, for what this guy needs to do, I'm going to give his poseability, playability about an 8 because, like I said, he's a bit, see, mine doesn't really stand up. For me to get him to stand, I really have to have him sort of leaning forward a bit. So it's an 8. It's an 8 because of the heavy backpack, but besides that, you know, he's great. It's also an 8 because I had to add, you know, the floor polish fix to his arm. By the way, he comes with these two guns, and these two guns can, and I will do it now, and I apologize for doing this off camera, but it's just a little bit easier if I do it off camera. They peg into his backpack and iconically come up over his shoulders as the two big guns. And he looks great with it. Poseability, playability for this guy. Oh, by the way, he rolls great in vehicle mode, and he's a fantastic, fantastic torso. We'll get into that. The head on this guy goes left and right. It can look down a little bit, up very slightly. The arm could go forward and back. Now, here's where things start to really fall apart with this guy. Pardon the pun. The elbows, you know, they bend nice. Did it wrist articulation? No. But his outward movement is at the elbow. Like, what is this? Whose elbow moves like this? Mine doesn't move like that. Nothing up there at the shoulder. He has a waist articulation, but truthfully, this is supposed to be... Why is that stuck down like that? I do not know. This piece here is supposed to, you know, be up over, so he shouldn't really be able to avail of that articulation. I don't think. Yeah, no, he should be hindered there by it. But if you move this down, he has it. The legs, you know, they do go all the way out to the side. That's nice. I can appreciate that. And then forward, very heavy clicky ratchets forward and back. Really too heavy for a deluxe toy. I always feel like with the plastic I'm going to break it. But I understand why they used the ratchets. They needed the ratchets to make this guy able to handle the Bruticus mold. There is a thigh swivel. There is a 90-degree bend. Easily the weakest of the FoC Cybertron Combaticons. Overall, you know, this guy has paint apps that are a 9 now with my custom work. Not that his paint apps were ever bad, depending on the look you were going for, but a 9 for paint apps, you know, an 8 for poseability, playability. This guy is scoring at an 8.5. This guy, he had, you know, we'll say a 7.5 for paint apps, poseability, playability. I'm sorry, that's unforgivable. He's broken. 4. You know what? 3. because no, you don't want your toy to break. 3 at best. So, you know, a 7 and a 3. This guy's sort of scoring about a 4.5. Let's get into transformation. Vehicle mode and then torso mode. And we'll do this guy first, I guess, as best as we can. So for vehicle mode, for this guy. Well, you begin by flipping his legs around and flipping his legs around in that manner. You bring this all the way back in that manner. The head of Onslaught flips down in that manner, bringing up the Bruticus head, which you can turn around for now. You, at this waist joint here, you flip the whole thing back like that. When you come to this arm now, should be able to turn it like this and put that little tab out there. What about now this arm? You bend it and you bring it up over the top, and you'll notice there's a little tab here. Ideally, you would take this one as well, and you would, you know, have it out and bend this in so that it was over the top the same way. And it would look kind of like this. Well, let's see if I can, let's see just how accurate I can get this. By the way, the blue also has a stress mark in here. So something was going to give away at some point with this guy anyway, I think. That's basically what you were going to get. And then there is a green gun that goes on top here that very loosely tabs in, if you can get it to tab in. And this is what you have. Apparently that's Onslaught. Again, it kind of looks like a space ATV. It is not long enough, big enough. It doesn't look like the leader of a group. I'm just plain not impressed with it at all. I think it's just terrible. And that's unfortunate. Let's put him in torso mode. Well, torso mode's a lot easier. I'm going to lay that aside for now. Torso mode for this guy is a lot easier. We'll bring that out for now. And we will flip the body up for now. We will turn the Bruticus head around, and it looks kind of like this. Next, you take this whole waist section and flip the waist section around. This piece that was down right here, you now flip it up. When you flip it up, you will have a little tab right here that goes into this slot right here. The legs obviously will go on down here. As for the arms, well, you're supposed to leave these pieces up, but I find that they will fall down anyway. So you might as well just flip it down now and make life easy on yourself. Turn it so that that whole piece is out to the front. And now you have this arm left dangling away down here. There's a little peg back right here, and you put the fist on over it. Just like that. On this side, you would do the same thing. You would take this arm, I can show you really close here, and you would flip it out. You would turn it around. Oh, sorry, flip it all the way out, turn it around, and put that hand over the post like that. And then you would hold that, you know, in here. And you would put an arm on over here, an arm on over here, a leg here, and a leg here. This, it's not that it's a bad torso, it's just it was too small, and this proves that it was too small. It broke off. It broke off, and it shouldn't. Overall, his transformation isn't hard. These hands do come off in combine mode. This whole shoulder piece will move, even though it's not supposed to. the legs are quite tight and don't go out a whole lot or back a whole lot. His transformation is not hard, it's just not great. This guy was running on about a 4.5 or a 5. His transformation is about a 7. In the end, this guy's about a 5 at best. He's a 5 at best because he's not great. Looks good on the shelf. Fine if you're a collector and you want that FoC Cybertron look. Not great for kids. So then we have this guy. Whether you have the Unite Warriors version that is, you know, impeccable, or you have the Combiner Wars version, he's a good figure. We will put him in vehicle mode first, just like we did with this guy. The chest comes down, and the head flips in, and the chest goes back up. Let's do that much right off the hop. Then, face the arms out straight. And bring them forward. Take these pieces over the shoulders and bring them up. And this piece over the shoulder and bring it up. When you do that, it's going to expose a post in here. You're looking to have that post go into a little slot down here. So you're going to take these arms that are facing forward and you're going to bring them up and slot it in like that. You're going to take this arm and bring it up and slot it in like that, and then these two arms will peg together. There's a little peg and a hole right there. That's the front of the vehicle done, which is the rear of Hotspot, for the record. So they took it and they reversed it. I thought that that was really, really smart. We come down to the legs next. Flip up the toes. And flip up the toes. Oh, by the way, and I missed this, heel spur. Heel spur. I bet that would help this guy to stand a whole heck of a lot better, and sure it does. That's on me. And I didn't even realize it was there. I forgot that it was there, even though a few days ago one of the scraplets, Braden, pointed it out to me. I had not even noticed it. So actually that's brilliant. Flip up the heel spur, flip up the heel spur. It makes him stand so much more solidly. Flip up the toe and flip up the toe. Take the leg and turn it so that the wheels are now on the outside. Take this leg and turn it, same thing, so that the wheels are on the outside. You want to unclip the knees and bring the whole thigh section, and bring the whole thigh section up. I find that the joints on this guy are a lot tighter than they were on Hotspot, which isn't a bad thing by any means. There, that comes up, and that comes up. And when you have them up, there's a peg in here that goes into a hole on the knee. So we will try to bring those two together. And I don't quite have that leg collapsed enough. Now I do. And for added security, on the feet there is a tooth that goes into a notch on the other foot. And you bring all of that together. And in the end, there you have Onslaught. Oh, and you take these wing pieces, and you hear how hard they are. That is not soft rubbery plastic. And you bring it down, and here is Onslaught. You know, this guy looked like a short ATV. Onslaught was a long gun vehicle, and this is a long gun vehicle. I don't mind that it's sort of stylized and looks a bit weird, because guess what? Onslaught was like that. He looked a bit weird, but it looks fantastic. I like the black added there. You'll notice that on the regular retail release, this unpainted gray plastic is all down along the sides here and all down along the sides over here. The top of Bruticus's head that you can see is actually a gunmetal gray like this color. So I obviously have done some work there. But, people have complained about the gap here. People have complained about the gap here. I honestly, I don't care. I'm not really looking down at the gap on Onslaught. I'm looking at him either coming at you this way, in which case he looks intimidating, or, going this way, in which case he still looks intimidating. He does not flop the same as Hotspot. He is way more solid. Going from this mode now to torso mode. We'll do that next. And the easiest place to start with that is to take these wing pieces and flip them right up so that they're up and out of the way. Take the legs and split them. And I mean, the legs even peg together so tight. Everything with this guy is so tight. Turn it out to the side. Turn it out to the side. These pieces in here were originally blue, which matched the toy. Bruticus's upper legs were silver, so that's why I painted that silver. And I think it looks, nice. There's part of Bruticus. We take these arms and we split them and bring them to the side. We turn them up like this. Next, take these pieces and flip them up out of the way. And take these pieces and flip them up out of the way. Unclip the two arms and bring them down. For now. These pieces can flip all the way down as if we were making his shoulders. And this whole section can twist around. The whole backpack twists around. Just like that. Next, you want to take the shoulders and turn them up so that the arm's facing out again. Turn it up so that the arm is facing out. Next, take the chest piece, and the chest piece actually, see if I can show it. There's a slot right here, and there's a peg on the chest piece. Bring it over until it snaps in like that. On the other side, you do the same thing. You bring it over until it snaps in just like that. Next, take the arm and you're going to bend it up. This arm in particular has a peg here and a hole right here. There's a hole up here in the shoulder and a peg right here. This arm will come up over and you need to line those two up. It can be a little bit of a pain, but nothing too major. Usually. Of course, now on camera it wants to do anything but line up for me. Over on this side, I should point out though, there's a hole still up here for symmetry. There is no post down on the hand, so we only have to line up this hole with this peg, and that is usually way easier to do. Yeah, there you go. That side's done. This side over here, like I said, bit of a pain. There. Now, we have his hunky shoulders up there. Next, take those guns and kind of flip them up out of the way. This crotch piece comes down by flipping it down on this first hinge, then flip it out, and then push it all the rest of the way down. And last but not least, you lift this piece up to reveal the head of Bruticus, and you bring it all the way down, and after you brought it all the way down on this hinge, you fold it down again. And when you fold it down again, you can take these gun pieces and flip it up, and take this gun piece and flip it up. And there are the guns over Bruticus' shoulders. Obviously, I've done a lot of paint apps here. The silver down here, the silver all over the head, and I love the head now. I added purple on the center, saving, of course, the Decepticon symbol. And I had to go hunting for a brown that was at least somewhat of a match to Blastoff. This was the closest I could get. It is a not a brown ochre, brown umber. So if you could find like a dark umber, a brown umber, you could do this too. And I put the brown across here, down the sides, and across the bottom. It is not, the brown does not stand out as much as it does obviously on the Unite Warriors version, because the Unite Warriors version, that Blastoff has a lighter brown anyway. This one has a darker brown. So there we go. There is a Bruticus and a Bruticus, and you can see the difference in how big the bodies are. This one just plain wasn't big enough. If you had the this version and didn't customize it, the head is a gunmetal gray, the mask is still silver, all of this chest plate is this same sort of unpainted gray plastic, and then the inside of the legs is blue. In the end, total score for Onslaught. For this one rested about 5. For this one, whether you have the Hasbro Combiner Wars version, the Takara Tomy Unite Warriors version, or you have a version that you customized yourself, you're looking easily, just as a standalone figure and a fun transformer, this guy's easily a 9. He is a standout figure, and you should really consider adding some version of Onslaught to your collection. Anyway, that only leaves us with one more video to go here, and that's going to be our combined video. We had Swindlewin, we had Combiner War Swindlewin, we had the False Cybertron Brawl win, we had Combiner Wars Vortex win, we had really Unite Warriors Blastoff win, but we'll say Combiner Wars Blastoff win out just a little bit for color, but overall the False Cybertron Blastoff really kind of won because he's a shuttle, and we have Combiner Wars Onslaught for the win. Let's see which one wins combined mode. I bet you can already guess the answer, but nevertheless, we will check it out the next time we are right here for a visit inside the videos. Thanks for watching. See you next time.